have for today. I can see people dropping in the comment section that they have a couple of questions. Okay, feel free to drop them in the comments in the chat section. Someone is going to respond to them. And also in the course of this discussion, most of the questions that you have, we are going to definitely answer every single one of them. Okay, and right now we're going to jump right into having this conversation that I've prepared for you. Okay, I promise it's going to be a very insightful session. And if you know anyone that is going to benefit from this session, your friends, your family members, even your enemies, anyone that you know that needs what we are talking about this evening, feel free to share the link with them so that they can join us right now that we are about to start this amazing conversation. So we're going to be talking about the truths about career progression for Black professionals in the UK, US, and also Canada. All right, the truth about career progression for Black professionals in UK, US, and also Canada. Okay, but before we jump right into it, I would love to know you and know where you are joining us from. Okay, let me see the guys that are joining from South Africa, from Mauritius. So just feel free, type in your name and also the location of where you are joining us from before we jump right into the discussion that we have for today. All right, so let's quickly do that. In the next 1-2 minutes, let's quickly do that. Okay, Dennis joining from Republic of Ireland. Welcome, Dennis. It's good to have you on this call. I can see Josephine from UK. I can see Benedicta from UK. Fantastic. Let's keep it coming. I can see David from US. I can see Frederick from UK. I think we have more UK people joining us today than every other region. I can see Jenny joining from UK as well. I can see Kelvin joining from Toronto. That's Canada. Fantastic. We have UK, we have US, we have Canada. All right. I can see Chris joining us from South Africa. Fantastic. It's good to have you on the call, Chris. I can see, thought the program is starting today. David. Okay, fantastic question, David. David, so we always have cohorts that start every first Saturday of the month. All right. So the first people that's supposed to start by August, they already started their own classes today. I can see Nalova Becky from Cameroon. Fantastic. Welcome, Becky. I can see Mildred, Saudi Arabia. I can see Chinonso, United States. Fantastic. You know, I was going through a very important report last week, and I noticed something that, you know, caught my attention. So, you know, what he said is that most of the capital investments back to Nigeria, that they were coming from the United Kingdom. And right from this conversation, just this call introduction, I already see more of people from the United Kingdom. So this also giving us an insight to show that some of these data, that most times they are actually correct. I've seen all the countries that were spoken about in that exact report. United Kingdom, South Africa, UAE, Mauritius, USA, and then Canada. I've seen every single one of those countries fully represented here. All right, so I want to also know if today is the first time that you are joining any of our session. All right, have you been to our session before? If you've been to any of our session, feel free to type in a different number. But if today is your first time of being here, please just type in a 1 so that we also know people that are today is the first time of them joining us on this conversation. Okay, please, David has a very important question. David, please, someone is going to message you right now, and they're going to take it up from there to see that you are fully added to the places or the classes that you need to be in. Okay, David, we saw what you sent, and someone is going to reach out to you right now. Okay, I can see that everyone on this call, today is the first time of them being here. I see Dennis, today is your first time. Gifts, your first time. Frederick, every single person here today is most likely their first time of being here. I promise you, it's going to be a very insightful discussion. Okay, you are in for a ride, and we're about to jump right into the discussion that we have for today. Okay, so first, I would love to also, you know, explain the people that are making this possible. All right, which company is organizing this? So we are Analytics, and we are the leading educational technology company that's helping people of the Black community to break into tech career path. Okay, we've been doing this for 5 years now, and we help close to 3,000 people transition from our classroom into landing their first job across the entire continent. And we have basic career paths that we focus on. And that's around data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, agile project management, cybersecurity, and then soon to come AI engineering. And people always ask, how exactly do we make this to happen? Right? It's simple. Most time, recruiters want to hire someone that already have an experience. Okay? They want to hire you because you have something you can contribute to the organization. So how do you show value? How do you show experience without landing a job? That's where we come in. So we bring in experts that teach you using real life projects. So while you are working on those projects, you're also improving yourself on the skill that you want to acquire. So instead of just going to say, oh, I want to go and learn data analytics, you are coming to contract as a data analyst. All right, you are coming to consult as a cybersecurity person. So this is the best way for you to learn, because one is that you're going to learn the skills that you want. Two is also that you're going to get the experience that you desire, because that's what recruiters are always looking out for. Okay, feel free to check us out at www.10analytics.io or Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn at the same 10analytics, at 10analytics, and you're going to definitely see us immediately. And who am I that has been communicating with you for the last 8 minutes? My name is Chukwu Emeka Ekpa, and I'm the CEO of 10analytics. And for the last couple of decades, I've been in the tech industry in several capacities. Okay, I used to work as a GRC professional and also as a strategic consultant. I've been in the financial space. I've worked in the capital markets. I've worked in hospitality. And right now, I am in the education technology space. Okay, like I said, I've worked in GRC in the banking sector, head of control in the fintech ecosystem, and also a data analyst in the fintech industry, as well as a business growth consultant in the hospitality space. Okay, so feel free to check us out. Check me out on LinkedIn at Chukwuemeka Ekpa, or Twitter at Emeka_Heist, or Instagram at Ekpa_Chuks. And we're going to also take this conversation personalized from those platforms. Okay, so we're going to jump right into what we have for today. Right, so there's something I always do whenever I'm starting off a session, and that's making a promise to everyone that is in that session. All right, so by the end of this conversation, you are going to clearly understand the truths about career progression. Okay, and also you are going to learn the in-demand jobs, as well as the exact steps that you need to do to position yourself to land all these high-paying jobs. That's my promise to you. Okay, and for instance, you might have network glitch, you might get a call and you drop off at any point. Please, there's an attendance form that my colleagues are passing around right now. Just check the comment section. I'm going to see the attendance form. Just fill the attendance form, and by the end of this conversation, we are going to share this slide with you and also the recorded version of this conversation. Okay, so we're going to get the slide and also the recorded version of this conversation. Who is ready to hear what we have to say today? All right, so I love a very interactive class. If you are ready for us to go, just type in anything in the comment section, any emoji, any number, just fire it down so that I'll be sure that there are people here ready to hear what we have to talk about this afternoon. Okay, I can see a couple of reactions. Fantastic, fantastic means that there are people here that wants to hear. Chris said, shoot. All right, Chris, let's go. Mark said, strong. Let's go immediately. All right, so first thing, I want us to understand that number one is that we are already underrepresented. All right, we are already underrepresented. I was skipping through a lot of articles to get the points that I need to use to drive home this. And I saw the one that caught my attention, all right? And what it's saying is that Black individuals make up 12% of the US workforce. And there's a reason why I had to use the US workforce. I mean, we all understand US to be the current world power. So until it changes from US to maybe Nigeria, we'll start using Nigeria as a base for our own comparison. Or maybe for Ghana, we'll start using Ghana as the base for comparison, right? But for now, we're going to use US as our own base point. Okay, so what it said is that Black individuals make up just 12% of the entire US workforce. Okay, and out of the entire US workforce, only 8% are in the tech jobs. Okay, but only 8% of the tech job. So what does this mean to every single one of us in this call? We are already underrepresented. In fact, my founder, if you hear our story, you're going to understand that the reason why we started off the analytics from the beginning was because at a point when he traveled and he was working in UK, I think UK, every single person that was in the office with him, they were all white professionals. All right. He was already in the tech ecosystem, but every other person in that industry, they were all white professionals. So he started asking himself question, why are my brothers not being in this sector of the economy? Why am I the only Black person here? And it's simple. Most of us, when we travel, when we relocate, we always, go for the easy jobs, right? And that's not from the aspect to say that they are not proper jobs. But if you look at it from a long-term perspective, is that a place that you would want to remain forever? Okay, so there is this statistics also that I read, and it mentioned that most of us, we all tilt towards either we are looking at the health sector, or we are looking at warehouse, or there's a new one, construction as well. So these three basic places are where most of us easily land. Health, from the aspect of career support workers. And then secondly, we're also tilting towards warehouse. And then thirdly, we're now looking at construction. But these career paths, are they places that you want to be forever? That's one major question I want every single one of us on this call to ask ourselves, okay? So what you are currently doing right now, is that the place that you want to be forever? Like I said, I love a very interactive class, so I also appreciate responses in the chat section, all right? What you are doing right now, is it something that you want to do forever? If the answer is yes, then maybe this conversation is not for you. But if the answer is no, then simply means that you need to pay attention to everything that we are going to be talking about, okay? I see a couple of no's dropping, simply means that you have the need to pay attention to everything that we are going to be talking about this afternoon. Okay, so let's move on. So after this underrepresentation, which we've already established, that we are highly underrepresented. So what exactly is making it like this for us? Okay, what exactly is making us to be underrepresented? One is that many of us feel that we lack the financial resources, or we lack the skills or industry knowledge to launch a tech career path. And you're not wrong, okay? You are not wrong. Sometimes those feelings are going to come up. Before I became the CEO of Analytics, I used to be the COO. And when the board called me and said, oh, Chukwemeka, I want you to drive the affairs right now. We are stepping back. We want you to take over everything. I was also asking myself, do I have what it takes to actually run a tech company? I've never been a CEO before, and this is just to put it out there. This is my first role of being a CEO, okay? But one thing I realized is that if at any point you are seeking for a role or seeking for a job and you feel fully qualified for that job, trust me, you are already overqualified. You should be shooting for something higher, all right? Trust me, you should be shooting for something higher. For instance, right now, I've had experience working as being a CEO for a couple of years. I know what it takes. I know every single thing that it can be. If another company is not coming to me and say, oh, I want you to be a CEO, of course, I'm going to see, okay, what is that you guys saying? I'm not start looking at, okay, what's the perks, what's the differentials that will make me make that move, right? But at that initial point, it's not going to be like a big move or a big push for me, okay? And that's the same way that sometimes, because we have that feeling that we lack the skill and industry knowledge to launch a tech career, we instantly draw back. But I'm here to tell you that no matter the industry that you are coming from, one way or the other, you've done something that relates to the tech ecosystem, okay? So whether you've been a teacher, a farmer, a nurse, a medical doctor, any industry that you've been in, you've done something that relates to the tech industry. So the most important thing now for you to do is, how do I find out what I've done in the past and leverage that initial work experience to break into the tech ecosystem? So this is the question I want every one of us to make sure that we answer for ourselves. So I'm going to give a quick example. All right. This is, let me call this guy Mr. C. So we have Mr. C here. We have Mr. C fully represented here. Mr. C used to be a teacher back in Nigeria. So Mr. C used to be a teacher back in Nigeria. And by virtue of him being a teacher, he had instances where he interacted with the students. So if you're a teacher, you understand the example I'm trying to make right now. As a teacher, you have instances where you are going to interact with the students. And also he interacted with the parents. And likewise, he interacted also with the management of the school. So Mr. C had instances where he interacted with stakeholders, 3 different stakeholders. Number 1 stakeholder is the students. Number 2 stakeholder is the management. And number 3 stakeholder is the parents. Right? So clearly, what this Mr. C has done, even by virtue of being a teacher, is he's done what we call stakeholder management or stakeholder analysis or stakeholder interaction. But for the purpose of this conversation, I'm just going to peg it as he's able to analyze stakeholders. So let me call it stakeholder analysis. Now, what Mr. C is going to look for now is this exact skill that I've utilized as a teacher, which sector of the ecosystem, which part of the tech industry is it viable in? All right. Now, clearly, stakeholder analysis has to deal with people that we call the business analysts. All right, people that we call the business analysts. So what this means is that by virtue of Mr. C working as a teacher back in Nigeria, he actually performed activities that relate to business analysis, which is in the tech industry. All right, so if he's now looking to break into tech, the easiest place for him to transition through is to look at this business analysis here. All right, but remember, at the beginning, Mr. C was just a teacher. But right now, we've identified the transferable skill that he had before he relocated to a new country, maybe the US, UK, Canada, Mauritius, South Africa, anywhere they are currently based. Okay, now what he's going to do is to transition to business analysis. But when he's now speaking, oh, I'm a business analyst, he's not going to peg it from this year that he's making that transition. He's also going to look back and say, okay, even while I was back in Nigeria, while I was, working as a business officer or as a teacher for Graceland International, I actually worked as a business analyst for these guys because I was constantly interacting with the students, parents, management to make sure that these things, information flows seamlessly within that organization. So can we all see how clearly Mr. C can look back at his initial work experience and be able to say, oh, I've actually been in the tech sector. But the challenge right now is that you may not be able to completely defend this, that you've been a business analyst, if you don't decide that you need to now get the entire skills. Okay? Is someone following me? Right? Are we all following me to this very moment? So which means after you've identified that you had this inherent skill, the next step for you is to now learn the entire skill fully. So that if you're now speaking from a point of, oh, I used to be a business analyst back in Nigeria, back in Ghana, back in South Africa, you can comfortably be able to defend that exact narrative. Okay, so you see, we've all had something that we've done in the past that relates to business, that relates to the tech industry rather. Okay, so what you need to do now is to find a way to find the one that you did. Get the skill and of course, break that entry barrier. So you can see clearly number 2 mentioned, many feel they lack the skill or industry knowledge to launch a tech career. But once you realize that this is something that you have an inherent skill, you can easily be able to transition. And of course, last one is bias and discrimination. We all know this. Some face unconscious and overt bias, which can hinder career progression. But one I've also come to realize is that there are some certain skills, there are some certain elements of skill that you can possess, and nobody can actually deny you your position. How many of us here know the not the WTO president, the WTO World Trade Organization? Do we know the president of WTO? How many of us on this call know who the president of WTO is? Let me see people that are actually here with me. Let me see people that are with me. Nobody knows who the president of WTO is. Fantastic audience. Ngozi, our own IBK. Fantastic. Okay, so clearly you can see that if she can actually get to that point with the experience that she's also been able to garner over the last couple of years, even though she will face that bias and discrimination, she still got that position, because when everyone look at the skill that she possesses, when people look at what she's been able to do, nobody can actually deny her that she's qualified for that. So even when we look at it from, oh, I didn't get this job because I didn't have UK experience, what are you doing to make sure that that is not your continuous response? Are you going to continuously be saying, oh, I didn't get this because I didn't have US experience, I didn't get that because I didn't have Canadian experience, and so on and so forth? So these are always the myth that we always hear from people. But one thing that cannot be denied is your skill and industry knowledge. Once you're able to show those two things, you are definitely going to be able to break into the industry. Right? So what's the pathway for your own advancement right now? I've said a couple of them already by virtue of explaining the last one. And number one is mentorship. Okay, clearly, if you are in any of these countries, you need proper mentorship. You need someone to also be able to tell you, right now, this is the skill that is actually the top in UK. This is the skill that is the most sought after in US. This is the one that everyone is looking for in South Africa. This is the one that we need right now in Saudi Arabia. If you don't have someone to tell you this, then it means that you need to look for it. Okay, and we're also here to show you guidelines on how you can find those in-demand career paths. So the mentorship is very, very important. Once you've gotten that, number two is now for you to have a targeted skill development. Okay, you need to have a perfectly curated skill development plan. It's no more the option of you throwing so many fishing hook into the ocean. You have to strategically know which one exactly do I need to do. And that's after you've gotten that mentorship, you've now gotten into the targeted skill development. Last one is now for you to network. If you joined earlier when we're trying to introduce ourselves, most likely some people saying, oh, I'm this joining from UK, I'm this joining from US, I'm this joining from Canada, I'm this joining from South Africa, and so on and so forth. That should show you the extent that your networking reach can actually get to. Okay, let's assume you decide to take a skill development with analytics, and you're in the same class with people from diverse countries. Of course, your own networking has extended beyond the shores. Okay, so most time when people said, okay, let me just lock in on my own, do this, do that, it eliminates that aspect of networking for you. Okay, but once you are able to unlock these three pathways, one is mentorship, get someone to explain to you the career path that you need, which is part of what we are going to be talking about today. Then targeted skill development, get the skill. You already identified the one that you want. Now you need to now learn those skills, develop yourself with it. And then lastly, you need to now network effectively for you to land what you are looking for. Right? And I'm going to tell us a brief personal story of one of my co-founders that also transitioned through this exact route. Okay, and that's Efemina Ibra. I don't know how many of us that knows Efemina, so we're going to hear his own personal story. Okay, we are going to hear how he was able to move from menial to full-time job in United Kingdom. So, like everyone that always transition, okay, once we transition, we always look for the easiest pathway for us to make ends meet, and that is not a bad thing. right? It is not a bad thing that you've relocated, rather, you are looking for the easiest way for you to find your fitting. Okay, so for Efemena, he landed in warehouse. Okay, and if you've worked in warehouse before now, you know that after you are done with your shift, you just go and get a very, very good massage. Now, when you ask yourself questions around, is this what I want to do forever? I mean, forever is a very long time. Is this what I want to do in the next 5 years? If your answer is no, that means you need to take actions to move away from that place that you currently are. For Efemena, like I said, he was in the warehouse industry. Okay. And one of the mistakes that he made when he also relocated is that he had this over reliance on degrees and certificates. Of course, when he was in Nigeria, he was hot cake. All right. He was hot cake because of Nigerian terrain. But moving abroad, he now realized that the reliance he had on his degrees and certificates is no more enough, right? It's no more enough for him to actually get what he's looking for. Okay, and also one of the challenges that he had is getting work experience. Okay, getting relevant work experience that's going to be able to help him transition to that path that he wants to be in. And also, he was downplaying on his past work experience. Like I demonstrated with Mr. C. Remember, Mr. C used to be a teacher, and he might be downplaying on his own work experience without knowing that inside teaching, he will actually practice business analysis. All right, so he was also downplaying his own work experience. And of course, his CV and LinkedIn had poor format and structure. Then he lacked focus because after he moved, every single job that he had, oh, this warehouse is recruiting, good cure. Oh, this shop is recruiting, this business place is recruiting, he will jump right into it. And this is someone that when he was in Nigeria, he was a manager with one of the top companies here in Nigeria. So this is to show you that it is not an easy thing, all right? It is not in any way easy, okay? And lastly, he also had poor interviewing skills, right? Poor interviewing skill. At that point, nobody cares about, oh, my name is Chukwemeka, I'm from Enugu State. They do not care. There has to be proper articulation of what you are trying to communicate. But for him, he also lacked those interviewing skills. And also, like I mentioned, no relevant work experience. Now, after he was able to work on these simple things that I've also identified, his reliance on degrees, his certificates, work experience, he modified every single thing. In that same year, he moved from being a warehouse worker to becoming a business intelligence developer for the same company, right? For that same company. Now, when I mention this to people, there's always question about, oh, I'm trying to get into tech. How do I go about it? Start from your environment, right? When I transitioned also, I was in the banking sector. I was just a mere compliance officer. But immediately I transitioned, instantly in that same bank, I moved to IT audits, right? And this is to show you that in all the sectors of the economy they are presently in, there is an infusion of technology in it. So even while you are still learning, while you are still trying to transition, the easiest pathway is for you to also look within your environment. That skill that you are learning, start showing it in that business. So what the Femina do differently? You've already gotten the training for being a business developer. That's also a data analyst. All right. And what he started doing is that in that same company that is a warehouse guy, he started interacting with people in the proper office. Right? And he started showing, okay, this is what I've done, this is what I could do, and several other things. He was called for interview in that same company. The IT manager had to also, screen him, and they realized that this guy that is just working in the warehouse actually has what it takes to move us to the next level. And they instantly moved him. Okay? They instantly moved him from just being a warehouse worker to the business intelligence developer. Right? And what next did he also do? He had to also implemented the 3 steps approach for career transitioning, which I'm going to explain to every single one of us, right? The 3 steps is actually very, very simple. But how many of us are willing to take that step? Okay. And after he'd done all these things, he started getting other offers. All right. You can see I had to attach a screenshot of one of them. He rejected offer because this company was trying to poach him. And then his immediate employer was now ready to match the offer that the other guys were giving him. And this is to show you the power that you have once you've been able to hone your skills, right? This is to show you the power that you have once you've been able to hone your skill. And in less than 2 months, he actually moved, because after the company matched his own, the offer that the other company gave him, another company also reached out to him. But this time around, it was a 6-figure career, and he wasn't ready to turn down that exact one, and he had to make the switch. But remember, it all started from doing these 3 simple steps that I'm going to show us today. Okay? It started from applying and doing these 3 simple steps that I'm going to show us today. And after a while, this is what changed his career forever. Today, he's the co-founder of 10 Analytics, and he's also the founder of Amdari. Now, this is to show you the extent that your simple step can actually get you to, from being a warehouse worker to being a tech founder. All right, so this can also be your own story in the next couple of months. Right? And this phenomenon is actually across all backgrounds. Okay, when we talk about these things, it's not just for people in the science or art or no background at all. It cuts across the entire background out there. He himself didn't study any tech course. He studied industrial chemistry. He studied economics. Yeah, he studied economics. Myself, I studied civil engineering. My father studied industrial chemistry. Now, this is to show you that no matter where you are coming from, you have that same possibility to make this same switch. Okay? You have that same possibility to make this same switch. And I'm going to show us people from diverse career paths that have also been able to make this transition. First, let's start with the medical guys. Right? We have Evelyn. So Evelyn transitioned from being a nurse after 15 years to becoming a data engineer. Right? After 15 years, when Evelyn came to us, what she said is that, oh, I'm tired of going to the hospital every single time. I want a job that I can also actually be able to do from the comfort of my house and also be able to take care of my family. And after we looked at her own skills, her personality, we were able to identify that she can do data engineering. She had affinity towards coding, and she transitioned to data engineering. We also have this guy, John Doe, that wants to remain anonymous. I love his own story. He's a medical doctor, but he also transitioned to being a data analyst. And of course, we have Tony, that also used to be a pharmacist before she moved to the tech industry as well. So this is to show you that it is highly possible no matter where you are coming from, okay? So let's make sure we fill the attendance form, all right? Once you get the slide, just click on the link and it's going to take you to their own testimonial. You can listen to what they had to say and hear from their mouth specifically, right? Click on the link that my colleague Elijah and Arafat, they are dropping in the comment section. Once you click on it, by the end of this conversation, we'll share the slide with you and also the recorded version of this discussion. Now, science background aside, because some people always come to you and say, oh, but I don't have the mathematical, skill. I don't have the knack for technicalities. Can I actually be able to make this switch? People has also done it, right? When Temi came to us, Temi Vaughan, Temi said, oh, I'm a lawyer, but I'm tired of, going to the office every single time, and it's just me trying to work on a case for a customer or me trying to do this and that. I need a different career path. And after we looked at it, we identify the inherent skill that Temi also had, and that's towards business analysis. And he also was able to transition. Osao, but the same thing. She used to be a sales personnel, all right? She used to be a sales consultant. But we've also looked at this and said, okay, this is the path that you can actually be able to transition. And she moved into it. Ngozi used to be a customer service rep, and she also identified a career path that's also suitable for her, right? So this is to show you that whether you have the science background or whether you have the art background, you can actually be able to break into the tech space and land the job that you're looking for, okay? Then finally, the people that do not have any background at all. There's a slide that I forgot to put here. So recently, we had someone that joined our station. This guy finished secondary education in Nigeria. And he came to us. In fact, his brother was the one that came to us and said, okay, I want my brother to register for this course because I know him a lot about tech. I don't want him to stay at home and, while away his time. So he registered for a course with us. And after that, this guy got a job internationally, right? He's still in Nigeria, but he's working for an international organization as a data analyst. This 18-year-old boy. I think it's right for me to call him boy. So for his own aspect, he doesn't even have a background at all. Are there people like this that is not going to have background? Yes, you're not in the science background, you're not in the art background, you've not done anything at all, but you still want to transition. It's still possible for you. Okay, and that's why I'm going to play Ikmat's story for just a few seconds for us to hear what Ikmat had to say, because she classified herself to say, oh, I'm someone that do not have any experience in any sector of the economy. After my school, I got married, I gave birth, and I have been a full-time stay-at-home mom. But right now, I want to come back to the workforce. So let's hear what Ikmat had to say and also be able to
Hi
take it from there.
everyone, my name is Mark, and I was with the March cohort in Analytics, and joining Analytics has been the best decision so far. For me, someone coming from a background of full housewife, because I had to stay back home to look after my child for 4 years, and then wanting to break into something new, wanting to go back into the workforce, wanting to place myself in the society for better job opportunities. So it was a lot. And then I'm glad that Analytics came along, and then they presented me with so many opportunities right in front of me, better opportunities. And then I'm glad I took it. And then also the advice of do not sell yourself short, that Effie is always saying, it is very, very valid, because place yourself right, don't sell yourself short. It's a very, very, very valid advice. In Analytics, they will hold your hands like a child, through the modules. You have the opportunity to go back and study. You have the opportunity to go back and practice. You have the opportunity to ask questions. You have people you can always go back to, even outside of class hours. It's the most amazing experience so far, really. And then another thing is the interview prep, guys. That is another very important thing. I did my interview prep with Mr. Mohammed, and it is the best decision ever, because he was like, he saw into the future. He knew what was going to be asked. And I'm glad that I wrote down all the things he mentioned. I went back to practice, and then when it was time for the interview, it was like everything he mentioned, it was just, they kept on. And then when I was answering those questions, I was so confident, because I already practiced. I did an Excel test, I did a math test, and then they were really impressed. And another thing is, guys, it may not come as fast as you expect. Definitely you are going to get some no's, and then you may begin to think you're not good enough. You are good enough, yes. The no's will come, but always take it as a basis for learning and development, because after every interview where I got a no, I always make sure I get a personal feedback. So I work on those feedbacks for my next interviews. And yes, it worked. It really worked for me, because I got my first job 3 months into the program, my first job. But I couldn't take up the job because I was a student, and I was only eligible to work 20 hours. So I couldn't take up the job. 3 months later, I got 2 jobs with full visa sponsorship. And guys, all the other no's before the 2 jobs prepared me for the yeses I got. So yes, the no's will come, but do not give up, because you always have Analytics to go back to. They are the best, and the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then yes, and they are the most affordable, one I've come across so far. And that's a very good advantage. So yes, Analytics for the win.
All right. I hope you all heard what Ikmat had to say. So her own story was actually very phenomenal, because 1 month into the program, she got a job, but she was not able to take it up because she had some limitations with working hours. She was still a student in UK as her then. Then after she finished her own program, first month, nothing. She was not able to land any job. Second month, she was not able to land anyone. So it's now towards after that second month that she landed 2 visa-sponsored jobs, and she was not able to take the one that she wants. Okay, so are the no's going to come? Yes, they are going to come. But it's now your willpower to continuously push ahead that's going to get you to that finish line. So how exactly were all these people able to make this transition? I told us that it's just in 3 different steps. Okay, number 1 is for you to learn. Okay, so you cannot know what you didn't learn. Okay, you cannot know what you did not learn. So number 1 is for you to learn. And after you're able to learn, next thing is the way you are learning, is it the in-demand skills that you are actually learning? All right, is it the in-demand skills that you are learning, or are you learning something that is totally irrelevant? So you are going to learn the in-demand skill, and then of course you need to package yourself. Okay, packaging is very, very important. You cannot overemphasize the importance of packaging. Your CV optimization, LinkedIn optimization, portfolio mentorship, all these things are very, very crucial. Okay, so recently when we wanted to do a couple of interaction with some vice chancellors or some universities in Nigeria, they asked me a very important question. Okay, Chukwemeka, all this good news that you're preaching, want to be able to impart this to our students, how many years of experience do you actually have? I mean, as a Nigerian guy, if an elderly person asks you this kind of question, already you know the points that they are trying to make, that you are too small. So, but how did I answer that question? Oh, collectively, our management team has close to 50 years of experience. Now, I'm not even close to 40 years. But what I said is that our management team has close to 50 years of experience. Okay, and I started talking about, oh, my founder, he has close to 20 years of experience, my co-founder, close to 20 years of experience, and myself, over a decade of experience, and we are the management team. Now, he started looking at me differently, because at that point, it's not just me anymore, but the entire management that the conversation has shifted to. Now, this is what packaging can actually do to you. So it's important for you to also know, how do you package yourself for the jobs that you are going for? And then lastly, apply to jobs. So applying to a job is a job on its own. It's a very, very tasking and daunting job. So if you do not bring out time to do it, you're also going to have challenges. So once you're able to apply these simple 3 steps, simple, all right, learn, package, and apply, you are definitely going to land the job. Okay, this is the same thing that Judith also mentioned. This is the same steps that she was also able to take. And she moved from being a carer to getting and becoming a business analyst also, all right, in the US. So all these things are fully possible for you. Remember, fill the attendance form so that when we are done, you can easily click on all those testimonials that you've seen, so they can also hear from their own mouth, okay? Fill the attendance form, and we are going to send the slide to you by the time that we are done. So like I said, first thing is for you to learn. I want to get practical now, but how exactly do you learn? What exactly do you need to learn? This is where most people miss out, okay? For instance, you've seen that your company is trying to move away from GCP, they're trying to get to maybe AWS. And in that same company, you're looking to upskill yourself, and they're going to learn GCP again. But you've seen that companies, changing platform to AWS. You're already not targeting your growth in that exact business. And that is how I want us to look at this as well. Okay, so what we've done from our own side is that we've created different job boards. Your LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Workopolis, Indeed, Monster, all the jobs that were posted the previous year, we've analyzed every single one of them. And what did we find out? Okay, you are going to see it. We also now validated it from a global view. All these jobs that had the highest amount of job vacancy the previous year, what is their future in the next coming years? So we had to validate it using the World Economic Forum report for us to know what's the future of these jobs. So what happens is that every single year, the economic leaders, they always come together, world leaders, to discuss on some certain topics. And one of that topics that they discuss on is the future of jobs report. So that exact place is going to tell you the jobs that are going to grow and the jobs that are going to decline. Now, after this validation, we have to also look at it from the regional analysis. Okay, you are in the UK. Is this job going to give you visa? Okay, if you are presently in UK, you understand the entire immigration changes that are currently happening right now. For you to get a visa right now, you need to be doing a job that's up to RQF of level 6. So even the health visa background that we're tilting towards is already threatened. Okay, but what we also try to do is we make sure that all these career paths are the ones that is going to meet that same RQF of level 6, which is going to give you the visa sponsorship that you are looking for. And also in the US environment, we approach it from the perspective of, are these jobs also amongst the one that has the highest H-1B acceptance rates? Are they amongst the jobs that when you get into, you have the possibility of getting your H-1B visa approved? Okay, and then from the Canadian perspective, we look at it from all the provincial nominee programs. Is he amongst the priority streams? Okay, we look at it from those different perspectives, from the regional background in UK, US, and Canada. And trust me, if you're in South Africa, if you're in UAE, if you're in Mauritius, if you're in any other country, there is nothing that you are going to be doing or your own country is going to be looking at that is not already masked within what UK, US, and Canada, what they are presently doing. And that is why we use them as base. So if you are joining from Brazil, from Australia, from South Africa, don't feel left out, because all these things are also applicable to you. So after we've reviewed all these career paths, we're able to come up with only 8 different sectors that met all those criteria. Number 1 is business analysis. Number 2 is data analytics. Number 3 is data science. Number 4 is agile project management, that's Scrum Master. Number 5 is data engineer. Then 6 is cybersecurity. 7 is HR analyst, and then also your financial analyst. Okay, and all this World Economic Forum report that I've been mentioning, what did it actually say? What's the validation that they mentioned? So what they said is that in the next 5 years, by 2030, 170 million jobs are going to be created. Okay, 170 million jobs are going to be created fresh. And then 92 million jobs are going to disappear. Now, if you look at what I have on my screen, all these single boxes that you can see here represent 1 million jobs each. So every single one on this red box are jobs that are going to disappear, while the ones on these green boxes are jobs that are going to grow. So what you want to do is to make sure that you move away from this red side towards this green side. At most, remain in the blue region. Remain in the blue region, which is just jobs that are currently stable. Okay, at most, remain in the blue region. But if you are looking to get to the part where the jobs are going to be created, it means that you have to start looking at this green side. And which jobs are we actually talking about? Number 1, the fastest growing job as of today represents the big data specialist. Are we surprised? I had a session sometime last week, and I asked them before I brought up my slide, which job do they actually think is the fastest growing job? And everyone said AI, 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 AI. And then when I brought up the World Economic Forum report, the fastest growing job as of today, the most in-demand career path represents the big data specialists. And these are people that are responsible for data processing, data analysis, data storage. Everyone that has interaction with data, they are all tilted. I am making use of a big tool to analyze them. They are all among the fastest growing job as of today. And let me now tell us a bit background of what's going on. As of 2024, the fastest in-demand job used to be AI and machine learning. Used to be number 1. All right? AI and machine learning used to be number 1. Then digital specialists used to be number 3. But after the 2024 boom, there was a drastic shift. Okay, there was an interchange between number 1 and number 3. So because AI has already started coming up, there are so many versions of AI that is out there right now. Someone needs to be able to process those things. Someone needs to be able to store them. Someone needs to be able to analyze them. So because of the rise in that AI usage, it also resulted in the rise for the need for big data specialists that should be processing and storing these data. So are we seeing how these things are connected? So because of that 2024 boom that we needed AI person, it's resulted in the big data specialist being the fastest one as of today. So if you're looking to do anything between the big data engineers or anything within that category, you are fully represented. So data engineering is a very hot cake, and you see it has validated that it's among the jobs that is going to be there in the next coming years. Okay, and then we also have your data analysts and scientists. That's where we'll now start looking at your AI and machine learning specialists, and also your proper data analysts and scientists. Okay, you can see that validated that one as well. We have your cyber security analyst also fully represented by your security management specialist, which is here, your Internet of Things specialist, and also your information security analyst. All these guys are within the brackets of cyber security. They can also clearly see business analysis here, fully represented by your process automation specialist. So you can see that all these career paths are vindicated. They have already been validated that in the next 5 years, they are going to be in demand. Now, you can clearly see that there are some jobs here that are also in demand. All right. For instance, you can see that your DevOps engineer, your renewable energy engineers, your robotics engineer, your blockchain developer, these are also hot cakes. But what's the reason why we do not offer them? Because one is that for a course to qualify for what we have to do, first of all, it will be easy, it will pass our criteria of ease of learning. It will be easy for anyone coming from any background to be able to learn it. Ease of learning, ease of transitioning, which means you are coming from a teaching background, you're coming from being a carer, you're coming from being anything. There has to be a transferable skill to that pathway. Okay, that is number 2 qualification. Then number 3 is high rewarding salary. Now, if you look at this job that we have on this segment that I've highlighted, of course, it's going to give you high rewarding salary. But do you think you can become a robotics engineer within 3 to 6 months? Let me ask everyone on this call. Do you think that you that's coming from a background of teaching, you that's coming from a background of customer service, that in the next 3 to 6 months, you can become a robotics engineer? Let's be honest to ourselves, all right? Because this is where some of us get it wrong. We're not honest to ourselves. Do you think you have what it takes? Now, in the next 3 months, you can get to be a robotics engineer? If you ask me, the answer is no. All right. Now, is it going to give you high rewarding salary? Yes, it's going to give you. All right. Is it going to give you high rewarding salary? Yes, it is going to give you high rewarding salary. But is it going to give you ease of transitioning and also ease of learning? The answer is capital no. All right. And that's the reason why we don't offer some of these courses. So for a course to be here, it means that no matter the career path that you're coming from, you can easily transition to that exact career path. Sorry, can anyone still hear me? I think my screen just went off. Can people still hear me? Because I can't see my second screen.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, just give me.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. I think my second device just decided to drop off from the conversation. Just give me 1 minute. I'm going to bring it back up so that I can see my slide as well. 1 minute and it should be back up. But like I was saying, and if you now decide that, oh, my friend that is this, that is that, transition to become a robotics engineer, and you without any background, transferable skill from there, you are now going towards that path. Are you seeing there's already there's no connection to it? And this is one of the mistakes that people make. So you want to run away from that possibility of making that same mistake. And that's why part of the things that I said earlier that we all need to know, first of all, is get mentorship to understand the career path that is going to give you what you are looking for. And that is what I've also been able to explain right now. Okay, to understand all these career paths. And once you've been able to understand it, next thing now is to get that skill, get yourself fully trained on that skill. Okay, and once you get that, next is now for you to now start looking towards the networking aspect. All right, so clearly you can see that you've seen the ones that you can easily get into. You've seen the ones that you may not have the possibility of easily getting into them. It now lies on you to make that decision of, I'm going to go to a place that I have good transferable skill towards. Because if you go to the other side, can you transition? Yes, but it's going to take you longer. For instance, for you to become a robotics engineer or anything around renewable energy, it's not going to take you anything less than 18 to 24 months. And that's roughly over a year to 2 years before you can clearly say, oh, I'm a robotics engineer. I can do all these things right now. Okay, so that is what I am trying to communicate with. I'm sure that none of us has 6 months, or none of us has 1 year to 24 months to give to trying to learn a skill. It's like going back to school, right? It's like going back to school to get trained afresh. So you can see we've gone through the part of that's going to give you what you're looking for, helping you to get them. So try and do now to also show us how can you know the places that you have transferable skill into. I've mentioned 8 courses right now, but which one do you think for you, or which one do you think you have more transferable skill into? What is going to be your response? All right, what is going to be your response? Sorry, I was speaking, I didn't know I was muted. Oh my God. All right, so I was saying, which career path do you think that in the next couple of months, you are easily going to land into it from all the transferable skill that you have right now? So what we've done from our own side is we've created a quiz segment where all you have to do is to take that quiz. Okay, once you are done taking that quiz, you can easily be able to see, oh, I have transferable skill towards cybersecurity. I have transferable skill towards business analysis. I have transferable skill towards this or towards that. Okay. And I want everyone on this call to do this quiz assessment with me. Okay. Because remember, I promised you that before you leave this call, you are going to know the career path that you need to transition into. So all you have to do is to scan this barcode, and it's going to take you to the quiz assessment page. Or when you get the slide, click on the link. I'm also going to try and drop the link in the comments section right now. All right. Okay, my colleague has also dropped it for all of us to see. So all you have to do is simply click on this picture right here, and it's going to take you to the page where you can take the assessments. So what do you need to do once you've gotten to this page? What are you expected to do? It's simple. Just fill the form and then answer some questions that you are going to be asked. So it's going to ask you a couple of questions for you to determine which career path is actually meant for you. So you see, not sure what a career path that suits your personality, take this quiz to get started. Just within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you should be done. So get started is giving tech error, blah, blah, blah. That's a spell of success already. So let's go. Let's see what the quiz is all about. So first, it's going to ask me my name. So I'm going to fill my name, which is Chukwuemeka Eba. All right. Oh, my first name alone. So my first name is Chukwuemeka. My last name is IKPA. Mobile number. Let me just put anything here. All right. Okay. Just put my number. So I'm going to put my number. All right. And then put my email address, which is chukwuemeka@10analytics.io. Okay, I agree, and then next. Once I do this, it's going to bring me to these places where I'm going to be asked a couple of questions. So how do you feel in group settings or team discussions? First response is, I tried. I love engaging, leading, or just connecting. I am selective. I like people, but I need balance. I prefer to work solo or behind the scene. That's my kind of person. I'll select it. Now, what best describes your current or most recent job? So I look at it, caregiver, nurse, health, customer service, retail admin, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to now click the one that relates to me more, which is simply IT support or technical field. I've selected it, and next one is, which of these sounds more like me? I like solving problems with people and organizing teams. I enjoy protecting systems or finding this. I like this, I like that, and so on and so forth. What I'm expected to now do is also select the one that is attributed to what I like doing most, which is simply I enjoy protecting systems or finding vulnerability. I'm going to select that as well. In group settings, okay, how comfortable am I in group settings? How comfortable am I in group setting, which is, how comfortable are you with tools like Excel, which the numbers generally? So for me, I'm very comfortable. I use formulas and this, somewhat comfortable. I prefer dashboard. I use only necessary, but for me specifically, I am actually very comfortable with it. But if you are avoidant of it, also you. And it's not asking coding. I love coding or want to go deep into it. I'm okay with light scripting or no code tools. And then the other aspects, I'm curious but not sure if I will enjoy it. And then I prefer logic puzzles over syntax. I'd rather manage tech teams. For me, I don't mind really because anything is easy, right? I've selected it. Then it's not asking me what kind of work environment do I prefer? Strategy and decision making, independent, technical, and data focused work. Just look at them, select the one that is for you. I've selected this for me, and it's not asking me what's most important to me right now. Job security in the long run, landing a high-paying job, remote work flexibility. I want to lead teams and projects. I'm still figuring out my next step. I'm still figuring out my next step. I've selected it and simply click on next. Then it's asking me what kind of impact do I want to make? Also look at it. I prefer protecting information systems because I had a compliance background. So I prefer to protect information systems, and I've selected it. It's not asking which course sounds most appealing to me. Of course, I don't even know the one that sounds more appealing to me, but I'm just going to choose so many options. I'm confused. And then of course, tap here. So once I've tapped it, it's now going to share where strengths lie. So cyber security guys. I am the guardian, which is the cyber security guys. So I'm protective, alert, and don't let things slide. So it simply means that cyber security is more tilted to what I can do. I can now decide to go for cyber security. You can now decide to step into it and then continue from there. So clearly, you can see you can be able to analyze your initial work experience to get the perfect place that you need to be in. Okay, so you don't have to go blindly. You don't have to jump into what you don't know because you don't even know the career path that is more stable for you. So how many of us have been able to complete the quiz right now? Let me see our results. Let's drop our results. Let me see our results. Let me see our results. If you've completed the quiz, please drop it. Let me see your own results. Which career path are you tilted to? Or nobody did this test with me? Is that what you are trying to tell me? Can anyone even hear me at all? Everyone is just quiet. Oh, Olalekan said cybersecurity. My guy, welcome. Mark said data science. Mafosa said data engineering. Ogetali mentioned HR analytics. Josephine, data analytics. Fantastic. Fantastic. Dennis also mentioned data analytics, Chinonso, data science. So you can easily see, Genevieve said cybersecurity, that your initial work experience, the experience that you had before now, has been analyzed. And then it has seen the transferable skills that you have to a particular career path and is now getting you into it. Okay, now if you now think, oh, I'm still confused, I don't even know if I should go into this or that, on that same page, you have a place where you can book a personal one-on-one conversation and someone from our team will be right here to have a discussion with you. Okay, so you said you are confused, and you also mentioned that you've selected your own gave you HR analytics. All right, if you are still confused, on that same page, you're going to see the option for you to book a one-on-one consultation with someone from our team, and they're going to be there to also guide you on what to do. Okay, they're going to be there to guide you on what. Please send the link to the quiz again. All right, Juliana, just scan the barcode on my screen, and it's going to instantly take you to the quiz page. And also, my colleagues are going to drop it in the next few minutes for you to also be able to access it. Now, after you've seen the career path that is meant for you, what is next for you? Okay, so next is for you to learn the best way. All right, next thing is for you to learn that skill. You've been able to see, oh, I have a transferable skill towards data engineering. I have a transferable skill towards cybersecurity, which means there's something I've done in the past that is inside cybersecurity or that is inside data engineering, which means if I'm able to learn that skill properly, can comfortably speak that I've been in that space over a long period of time. So our learning is structured in two most important ways. One is that it is live instructor-led. You're going to have someone like myself walk you through everything that you need to know. Someone is going to be teaching you live in the classroom for you to learn. And so we have a self-paced aspect where you have watch me do it videos where it's just short bite videos that you are expected to watch. Okay, so it's two-based, instructor-led, and then live videos. And if you're also thinking, oh, my decision is based on the salary that these guys are going to make, I'm putting it to you that no matter the career path you decide to go into, every single one of them is going to give you a high rewarding salary. So don't base your decision based on the financial income, but base it on your transferable skill. Okay. In the UK right now, I think for you to get COS, your job needs to pay you a minimum of 40,000. Yeah, 40,000 or 41,000 right now. And if you look at my screen, you can see that every single one of them, they are all above 41,000 average income for people in this career path. So it means that if you get into it, they are all going to pay you handsomely. But make sure that you're transferring or you are transitioning to tech from a place that you have high transferable skills. Number two, let's look at the packaging that I've mentioned. One of the major mistakes that we make is we are looking for certificates. I think someone just asked me, does the training include certification? It includes certification, but it is not what the recruiters are looking for, okay? Before you start all those packaging, you need to have the competence, because if you're trying to get into tech rather, there's one assessment stage that you must pass, and that is your skill assessment stage. You must be assessed skill-wise. And that is bringing me to what the richest man in the world said a couple of months back. He said, if you're a hardcore software engineer and you want to build the everything app, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. We don't care where you went to school. I want us to listen to this carefully. We don't care where you went to school, number one, or even whether you went to school at all, number two, or what big name company you worked at, number three. Just show us your code. So what does this mean? It means that the era where people care about, oh, I went to Harvard, I went to, do you know who I am? I'm a master's degree holder from the University of Hull, all right? Nobody cares where you went to school, or even whether you went to school at all, or you've worked with the big four, you used to work with PwC, recently just moved to Deloitte, and KPMG is trying to poach you. Nobody cares, all right? What everyone cares right now is just show us your code, which simply means what can you do? Show us evidence, show us your experience. So the era of certification is clearly over, okay? Nobody cares anymore. Just show your skills and experience. And that is why packaging is very, very important. Let me show you a very good example, right? Hope, she's already a certified Scrum Master, but she was unable to do the job before she came to us. So when she came, because of the Scrum Master affiliation, it was easy for her to tilt towards Agile project management in September 2024. Okay, and after she was passed through getting the skill, getting the in-house experience, she was able to land a job as a project analyst. Now, this is someone that is already certified Scrum Master, but she still lacked how is she going to use some of those Agile tools. She doesn't know how to use it, but that is what recruiters are looking for. What can you do? So for packaging, that is where first thing that you're going to learn is, remember your experience is fully a live interactive class, project-based learning. So I'm quickly going to walk us through the portfolio of a past student. All right, someone that walked through our own program. If you go through this Victoria Chemado's portfolio, you're going to see that she worked on several projects. First one is Deep Care Hospital ER visit analysis. Then she also worked on Redux airline flight analysis, Express Tech food delivery, nursery products analysis, Zenith Electronics. This is 5 different projects in 5 different sectors of the economy. Now, this first one is in the health sector, second one is in aviation space, third one in supply chain, fourth one in FMCG, last one in the tech ecosystem. Do you know what it means to have experience in 5 different sectors of the economy? And when you click on any one of them, it will take you to the actual projects that Victoria worked on. So she can speak from experience. Oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on the hospital ER visit analysis. And what I realized is that their main pain point is that there's a lot of waiting time before customers are attended to. And we had a total of 9,216 patients. So I was asking myself, how do I improve this number to get to 12,000? Which means for me to improve our number of patients, I need to reduce the average waiting time. I did this, I did that, and in Q1 alone, we had this result. So when you speak like this, and when you're able to show the experience, show what you've worked on, recruiters are going to know, okay, this person seems to know what he or she is talking about, right? And this is what it means to have experience. Now, remember, she has this experience in the hospital sector, in the health space. She has it in the aviation space. She has that same experience in the supply chain, in FMCG, and also the tech industry. Do you think they're going to leave Victoria that has experience in 5 different sectors of the economy and hire you that has a master's degree from University of Hull? So let's be honest with ourselves. Do you think they're going to leave this person that is showing evidence, showing workings, to hire you that is saying, oh, I studied data science from the University of Liverpool? Do you think they are going to hire you? Once you are able to be honest, that's now what is going to take you to the next step. So which means you need to learn that skill properly, get the project-based experience, and build your portfolio. After building your portfolio, you also need to also package your CV. So it's important for you to know how to package your CV. So what we do from our own side is that we are going to teach you how to optimize your CV. And then 2 months after you've joined, we are going to work on your CV for you. So you're going to submit a couple of templates to us, and we're going to work on it and give it back to you. But we are going to also teach you how do you constantly now optimize your CV to apply to jobs, each of the jobs that you're going for. Because the biggest mistake that we make is that we do easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. But that is not it. For you to land a job, you need to tailor your CV down to the specifics of the job that you want to go for. We are going to help you with that. LinkedIn optimization. There's what we call 90 days to projects that you're working on. We expect you to be communicating on LinkedIn, because this is how about cybersecurity. That means he has experience in cybersecurity. That is how you optimize your LinkedIn. How do you navigate the job market? We bring in experts back to the classroom to walk you through how you can actually be able to navigate your job market. And then also interview preparatory sessions. How do you answer interview questions using the STAR framework or the SIT approach? That's simply talking about situation, task, action, and result. And in the context of what I'm explaining, I can say, okay, Chukwuemeka, tell me about a time where you've worked on a project and the impact your project was able to make for the business. I can speak from the experience. Oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on the hospital ER visit analysis where I analyzed patients' data close to 10,000. I realized this, I did that, and so on and so forth. And in the end, I was able to optimize or improve their average waiting time, which in return increased their revenue. So if you use this same framework, situation, task, action, and result to answer the question. And once you're able to do this, it is the best articulated way to respond to interview questions. So you're also going to provide you with job references and recommendation letters. So recruiters want to know, you said you've consulted with analytics. Are they going to provide you reference? We're also able to do that for you. And on the job support, you are struggling on the job, we also get support too. Weekly mentorship support sessions is also provided to teach you some certain things that you need to know, as well as Upwork optimization. How do you play in the freelance space? How do you utilize Upwork to make $100 here, £100 here, 100 CDs here, 100,000 Naira here, and so on and so forth. We're also going to put you through this exact learning experience. Now, the entire classroom or the entire experience is for 6 months, okay? And it's for 8 months. For 6 months, you are going to be learning the skill with analytics. And then for 2 months, you are going to have an internship experience with Amdari. So what this means is that you have the opportunity to put 2 leading tech companies in your CV. Oh, I've consulted with analytics. I've also interned with Amdari. So these things are things that is going to boost your profile. These are things that recruiters want to hear. That's going to help you land those. And of course, applying to job is very, very crucial. You need to apply like a machine. Okay, so you, like I said, you shouldn't reuse a CV to apply to more than one role. So for any job that you're going for, it's important for you to tailor your CV to the specifics of that job and apply to at least 10 quality jobs every month. Okay, every day rather, 10 quality jobs every day. And what we do from our own side is that we've scraped different job boards. We have access to some paid platforms. So what we do is when we scrape those jobs that is available on those platforms, we provide it to you, our students, to apply to them. But the responsibility of applying to this job rests solely on you. So we're going to teach you, we're going to help you package, we're going to scrape job boards and provide it for you. But then the responsibility of applying to the job rests on you. And this is where some people fall off. Our success rate is currently at 89%. So what does this mean? It means that out of every 100 people that come into our program, 89 get to move on to greater things. Now, the 11% that didn't land job or didn't move on, where they fell off is from application. And that is what we realized, and then made it possible for everyone to know the importance of applying to this job. So it's very simple. Learn the in-demand skill, like I said earlier, package yourself with those employability skills, and then apply to the job. Once you are able to do these simple 3 steps, you've already landed that job that you're looking for. You've already landed it. I don't know if we are still following me to this very moment. Are we still here, or are we already distracted? Are we still following what I'm trying to communicate? Please just drop anything. Yes, you are here, anything. So that I'm sure that there are people that are still under the influence of my voice. Okay, thank you so much, Mafosa. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you. iPhone, Dennis, Victor, Chris. Fantastic. I can see a couple of comments. That means there are people that are still there. So all these are success stories of people that have actually been able to walk this path before you. Okay. So what I always advise people to do is fill the attendance form. This slide is going to be shared with you. It's going to take a lot of time for us to go through every single one of them. When you get it, click to hear what they had to say. All right. Here, just look for someone that has the same experience like you. Click and hear what that person has to say, because that might be what you are looking for. Okay. So there are a lot of success stories, people that have been able to make this same move before you. All right. People that have been able to make the same switch. I'm going to just concentrate on one. How can analytics help me get a fixed contract job in the United Kingdom? You can also see it here. And then, of course, several other ones. But then, let's look at the one from Mary. So Mary had no experience in tech and she was working shifts like every one of us in UK. So she joined the business analysis program in November 2024 and got her sponsorship in March 2025. Okay, she secured a job as a business data analyst with NatWest on full visa sponsorship. Full visa sponsorship. Now, with the way that the UK environment is moving, UK immigration laws, it's important that we secure what is going to give us what we are looking for. And sometimes these jobs it may not even come with sponsorship at the first look. It might just be coming like a contract role. Okay, but once we're able to perform effectively for them, those sponsorships are going to also follow. Okay, those sponsorships are going to follow. So what I'm going to do in the next 10-15 minutes is now to explain each of those scores so that we're also able to understand what each of them means. So what skill must I have to land those jobs this 2025? I know some of us who've selected business analysis, or the quiz has provided business analysis for us. Now, who exactly is a business analyst? These are people that come into organizations to improve and optimize processes and make it better. All right? People that come into organizations to improve and optimize processes to make it better. As a business analyst, you're going to learn SQL because there's need for you to also understand data. So you're learning data to all these other aspects of things you are learning: process mapping, project initiation planning, agile and scrum for projects. They're all tilted towards what we call project management. All right, so you have a course that's also tilted towards project management. And then the last part of it is now your core business analysis. So if you are someone that you don't mind stakeholders, talking to people, have conversation, you should be looking at business analysis. If you are running away from conversing with you should run away from business analysis. All these tools. And remember, so everything that you are learning, they are all practical-based learning. Now, next one is agile product management. Agile product manager. So if you are the kind of person that you are running from anything mathematics, anything coding, anything calculation, you should go towards agile product management. Your responsibility is simple. Learn how to make use of agile methodology for the company. How do we work iteratively on projects to improve its value? So if you're the kind of person that you can serve as a leader, can serve as a coach, you should be looking at agile product management. We call it the no-code area in tech. So it is the no-code area, so which means nothing technical, nothing mathematics-based. Read, understand. So we also have the data engineers, we have the data scientists, and of course we have data analysts. Now for data engineers, these are people that the responsibility is to build pipelines so that data flows seamlessly within the ecosystem. They are responsible for building pipelines. So the same way that when you go to construction companies, the plumber is responsible for building the pipe, make sure that water flows from the tap down to the water system. That's how data engineer builds pipeline to make sure that data also flows within the system. They are very, very heavy on coding. So it is heavily code-based. Okay, so it's heavily code-based. We have data science as well. So data science are simply people that come into the business to look at data and tell them this is what is going to happen, to help them build predictive models to make decisions with. So data scientists are responsible for answering 3 basic questions, and that is what I call these 3 questions: descriptive, diagnostics, and predictive, DDP. Descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, and then predictive analytics. Descriptive will tell you this is what happened. Diagnostic is then going to tell you this is why it happened. Why predictive is going to tell you this is what will happen in future. So all data scientists can also work as data analysts. So if you see these 4 tools that we have here, statistics, forecasting and predictive using Excel, Tableau, and also SQL, they prepare you to work as a data analyst as well. Why from Python programming downwards to machine learning, to computer vision, to GitHub, prepares you to now work as a data scientist. Now, they are slightly code-based. Now, we also have the data analyst. The data analyst is responsible for just answering only 2 questions, and that is descriptive and diagnostic. What happened and why did this happen? So first thing you need to learn is how do I solve a problem? Before you now start learning the tools that you're also going to utilize to build visuals, to communicate solutions to that problem. Okay, so this is also not code-based. All right, so if you're looking to break into data environment and you want to be in a place where it is slightly code-based, you should be looking at data science. If you are looking to be in the one that's heavily code-based, you should be looking at data engineering. If you want the one that is no code attached at all, you should now be looking at data analytics. I hope we are all still following. Then we have financial analysts and also HR analysts. Now, these are data analysts that have specialized in a specific industry. Financial analysts are data analysts that specialize themselves to financial data. Okay? So for instance, if you look at the first 4 things that they are learning, it is also tilted towards data analytics. All right? Problem solving, learning Excel, learning Power BI, and then learning SQL. And the next thing is you now have to understand the financial environment. This is the proper accounting model, your balance sheets, income statements, and cash flow. Okay, and then moving to your financial analysis and then financial model. How do you build a financial model that is going to tell the future of the business financial wise? How do you sensitivity and scenario analysis to tell to be the effect on our operating expenditure? You need to be able to play all these sensitive. So if you're someone that's already in the financial space or have a financial background and looking to break into data, financial analytics will be the easiest pathway for you. And we also have the people or HR analysts. This guy are also data analysts that specialize in people's data. You can also see the first 14 that they are learning that's also tilted towards data analytics. So there are data analysts that specialize in financial data. All right, data analysts that have specialized in financial data. Okay, my screen just stopped showing. And once you are done learning that first 4 initial skill, the next point now is for you to now understand the core HR metrics that exist there. Okay, next point is now for you to understand the HR environment, which you are going to start with HR analytics and performance evaluation. How do you analyze the performance of your staff using all those tools that you've been able to learn? Okay, how do you know the metrics and the life cycle that exists in your HR environment? Instead of performing exit interviews, you've seen that, oh, once someone maybe gets married, they resign from your business. That's already a data that you've collected. So if someone is giving you an IV in your company saying, oh, I want to get married, next question is for you to now start having conversations around stay interview. Okay, what do we have to do to make your experience more better here in this company? Instead of you waiting till the person leaves and you're not having exit interview, you've seen the data points that people get to leave and you're not acting on it. That's you understanding your HR life cycle. And then you now also understand your dashboarding, collaboration and report system, and then building your case to create action. If you are HR and you don't know how to create action, that means your staff, everybody in that company is going to suffer your own ill skill, okay? Because you need to be able to create action to even speak for your staff. And these are things that you get to also learn in the HR analytics program. And then lastly, we have this guy called the cyber security guys. Okay, we have the cyber security guys. Now, these are people that they are responsible to protect the digital asset of the business. All right. So we talk about cybersecurity. It's quite vast. Cybersecurity is very vast. And I'm going to explain it in two major domains. We have the blue team and we have the red team. Now, blue team is responsible for defense, while the red team is responsible for attack. But you are going to be learning every single aspect of cybersecurity, which means by the time that you are done, you can fully practice as a purple team member. Now, what does purple team mean? It means that you have the skill from blue and you have the skill from red. So if you look at what we have here, first thing that you understand is overview and roles. And then you're now moving to understanding risk management. Okay, that's where you're now starting learning your CIH triad, the foundation of cybersecurity, confidentiality, integrity, and also availability. Before you now move to your introduction to network security, threats and vulnerabilities, and everything there. So this prepares you to actually work as a network engineer. Okay? And then you also learn sub roles and responsibilities. How do you analyze log analysis? And also how do you monitor your traffic? We call this traffic monitoring. Okay, how do you also monitor your traffic as well as your threat detection response? So all this also prepares you to function as a SOC analyst. They now start moving towards your penetration testing, incident response, your OSINT gathering, your malware analysis, and then your proper OSWAPs and P tests. Okay, so all this prepares you to also now function as a pen tester. Then lastly, we have these guys that we call the GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. They are responsible for understanding those framework that you need to utilize. Okay, and also the compliance audits and policy developments. And they also carry out security awareness. So you can clearly see that it's several aspects of cybersecurity that you're going to be working through. But when you now get to your own internship, you can now decide the area you want to specialize in, and your internship is going to be modeled around. So let's assume you've gone learned everything practical wise. When you now get to your internship, you're now specializing to be a pen tester. And everything that you're going to now be doing will be hinged around penetration testing. I don't know if at this moment we all understand those different places that we have selected or that we have seen that will have transferable skill towards. Remember, I said the program is for 8 months for all of them. It is for 8 months. 6 months classroom learning, and then 2 months internship experience. 6 months classroom learning, and then 2 months internship experience with a different company. And then your class is only on Saturdays alone. So on most Saturdays, you can either be in the morning class or in the evening class. We have 2 classes. You cannot be in both of them. Now, we structured it for people in either North America or in Europe. And no matter your own time jurisdiction, one is going to enter for you. Okay, so we have the 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. WAT class, and then we'll have the 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African timed class. Now, if you're in Europe or if you're in Africa, the morning class will be more stable for you. But if you're in Canada, US, or North American guys, then the evening class, which is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. WAT, will be more stable for you. It can only be in one class. Right, so this is about the live class. Those self-paced videos on some Saturdays, and then on some Saturdays, you are expected to watch your self-paced videos or have a repetition to assess, oh, last Saturday we had this. Let's reassess whether you learned what we actually talked about. So we also have drop-in sessions on some Saturdays as well. Then during the weekdays, on Thursdays, we have all those packaging aspects that I've spoken about, your mentorship session, conversations, you have time. All right. Now we have another session also by 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Okay, so one is meant for people that are also in North America, while one is also meant for people that are in Europe or Africa. But one thing is sure, all these sessions are so even if you're classroom, all you have to do is go back to your classroom and watch the recorded version. And if you have a question, you simply come to your closed WhatsApp group and ask. Someone is going to respond immediately and solve your problem. Okay, and the live video, the recorded version, the classroom, they are all a lifetime access, which means you have a lifetime with us. We still have people that joined us as our 2021 that wanted to transition to a different path, and they came back to us to have that conversation. Okay, so this is all you need to know. Remember, like I said earlier, a career path that is meant for you. Please make sure that you take this quiz. Okay, it's important. When you take the quiz, you can see the one career path that you're more tilted towards. And if you are still struggling after taking the quiz, like Olufi, like she's still, I don't understand how the difficulty is for me. Right there after that quiz, you have the option to book a one-on-one consultation. Just fill that form, choose a time that works for you, and someone from our team is going to be there to have conversation with you. So all this is to make sure that you don't make the mistake of transitioning to a path that is not meant for you. So how can you get started? Today, how can you get a new cohort? Every single month, every first Saturday of the month, we start a new cohort. And one just started today for the August guys. The next one is starting on the 6th of September, 2025. Next one is starting on the 6th of September, 2025. And how can you secure your spot? So all you have to do is to click on the links that my colleagues are dropping. For all the courses I've talked about now, the full price of all our program is $1,000, right? $1,000. But there's a discount that is also existing for everyone. Okay, there's discount that's existing for everyone, which means you have the option to pay $750 alone. And you don't have to pay it once, okay? You can break it down into 5 months. Okay, you want to pay $150 this month, $150 next month, and so on and so forth. It is fully available for you, okay? And this discount is just for the first 20 people to fill up each of those options that we have there. You can see in my slide, there is this place that we have that demonstrates how this discount actually runs. From August 9th, which is today, to August 22, the 25% discount will be effective, which means you can get all the courses at $750 alone. Okay, after that, from 23rd to 29th, the discount changes to 20%. And from 30th to 5th September, the discount now goes back to 15%. And this is not just for everyone, it's not largely open. So this is how it works. Once 20 people fill up this place, even if it's still within August 9th to August 22nd, you are going to be paying based on 20% discount. Okay? Once 20 people fill up this first option, you are going to be paying this. And once 20 people fill up this, you are going to be paying this. And once 20 people fill up this, you are going to be paying the full amount in the end. So I always advise people to do not look at the discounted pricing. Make sure you secure your own spot by now. Do not look at the dates, rather. Make sure you secure your spot now that you are sure that 25% discount is in play. Because once 25 people have filled up the first discounted option, the price goes back to the next segment. So all you have to do is click on the link that my colleagues are dropping for you to make payments. Once you click on it, it's going to bring you to our 10 analytics page, right? It's going to bring you to this, our 10 analytics page, our courses instantly, our instructor-led courses. Okay, and what you have to now do is, which one actually do you want to go for? All right, you can see that I clicked on the link, it brought me to this exact page. Which of them do I want to go for? Let's assume I want to go for full stack data science. All I have to now do is simply click on buy now. So once I click on buy now, it's going to bring me to this page explaining that same data science for me, the course description and all. So all I have to now do is simply click on enroll now that exists here. Once you click on enroll now, it's going to bring you to this page where you can now decide if you want to start September 5th or October 4th. So you have option to also defer your own starting date by 1 month, which means you do not want to start by September, you want to start in October, you can decide, okay, you're securing your spot, but you want to start in October. It's fully allowed. And that means if the price changes by October, it is not going to affect you. So for me, I want to start in September. I've selected the September. I want to pay 5 installments plan. You can see first one is full payments, second one is 2 monthly installments, third one is 3 installments, fourth one is 4 monthly installments, and then fifth one is 5 installments. Now you can also see that if you decide to pay one off or in 2 installments, you also get extra discount knocked off for you. Which means if I decide to pay one off or in 2 installments, I'm paying a total of $700 alone, which means extra discount has been added. But from anything 3 months down, you now pay that fully 25% discount. And the reason is simple. I'm sure we all understand NPV, that's net present value of money. Okay, $500 in my pocket today is not the same thing as $500 broken down for 5 months. So let's assume I'm going for the 5 monthly instrumental plan. I've selected this and I've selected pay now. Once you click on it, it's now going to bring you to where you can check out your own payments option. Okay, it's going to bring you to where you can check out your own payment option. Now, right here, all you have to do is simply scroll down and select how you want this to function now. Okay, so quickly, I'm going to do something so that I'm sure that we all have that same experience. All right, I'm going to do something. Once you click on it, next thing it's going to ask you is for you to pay now. So, okay, you have to now select to confirm the information that you've seen, that you've also read the terms and conditions, and simply click to pay now. So right there, you're going to have a pop-up that you are going to utilize to pay. So you can see right here, you are just going to now fill that payment plan and then instantly make your payments, okay? Fill how you want to make your payments. So for the purpose of this meeting, I'm going to, let me stop sharing my screen for a while and fill these details to also make this payment, all right? But for you, all you have to do is simply fill the details that are here and instantly pay for the product. So let me fill it offline, and then I'm going to share my screen again for us to be able to see how easy it is to make payments, all right? So I've filled it now. Very, very simple and straightforward. Once I've filled it, it's now going to bring up a screen for me to instantly have access to the LMS. All right, so it is very simple. Once you go through it, you are going to see that it is very, very simple. 4242. Okay, fantastic. My screen should come up any moment from now so that we can see what you are expected to see once you are done making your own payments. Like I said earlier, the discount is not for everyone. All right, it's not for everyone. It's just for the first people to make payments within that period of time. Okay, and once you are done making your own payments, you've already secured your own spot. Remember, you don't have to wait till the date is over before you make payments. You don't have to wait till the date is over before you make payment, because if you wait, it simply means that you might be getting into segments, okay? We are trying to make payments so that we can also experience this. Once I'm done making the payment, I'm going to put my name, all right? Okay. All right, so I'm done making the payments. I'm going to put my name and then my country and simply come back. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again for us to share, for us to see that it is now successful. All right, so once you are done with that, instantly, you are going to now be directed to the place where you can easily decide and also update your details. All right, so my payment is complete and is now coming up to confirm that I'm done with my own payments immediately. All right, payment successful. So it's right now for us to see. All right, so right now, all I have to now do is to simply come back here and then easily now go to my own dashboard. You can see my payment is successful. And accept your course, mark your calendar and challenge on the leaderboard. It's taking me instantly to the learning management system for me to immediately start my own experience. So everything that you are experiencing here, you are going to do all those issues. Okay, I hope it was simple and straightforward for us to be able to secure the raise hand icon, and I'm going to answer it for you. All right, use the raise hand icon, and I'm going to answer all your questions immediately in the next few minutes before we round up for today. Okay, let me bring up my slide again so that we all can actually be able to scan the link and get access to the payment platform. Remember, the discount is not for everyone. It's not ever. It's just for the first 20 people to secure spots, and after that, it moves on to the next 20 set of people. Okay, I always advise people to secure their spots at any time that they get to this, because before you know it, like this, you might be seeing that the first discarded time is between August 9 and August 22, but before Monday or before Tuesday, that entire 20 spot might be fully be taken. So always make sure that you secure your spots as fast as possible. So at this point, I don't know if anyone has any question. Please feel free to use the raise hand icon, and I'm going to call you up to speak. Or you can also drop your question in the comment box, and I'm also going to pick up your question from there. So do we have any question from anyone? Let me quickly check. Do you have any question from any? Okay, could you please clarify what we get at the end of the course? Okay, I don't know at the point that you joined our program. So at the end of the course, you are getting the skill, you are getting the experience, you are getting the training, the certification. They are fully have mentioned that everyone that joined will get. So it depends on your own reason for being here. If you're looking to transition to tech, it means that at the end of your own learning journey, you're going to move from the point that you are right now into the tech environment. Okay, iPhone, so you may want to fill the attendance form if you joined us late, so that you can be able to get the slide that we're using for this discussion and also the recorded version of the conversation, so that on your own, you can easily be able to hear everything and watch everything that we conversed about today. I hope that makes sense to you, iPhone. Okay, then moving on, I don't know if there are other questions from any other person here so that we can easily be able to address that. Could you please explain more about the business analysis course from Mitchell? All right, Mitchell. So business analysts are simply people that come into businesses to make sense of that business and improve it and optimize their processes. I'm going to use an example. As of 2012 or thereabouts, if you walk into a Nigerian bank, you're going to see large queue, all right? Now, business analysts saw this and said, how do we improve our processes and remove people from the banking hall? That simple question resulted into the advent of internet banking, into mobile apps, into USSD, into several means to make sure that you do not have to come to the banking hall to perform your activity. So these guys are very heavy on process automation and process improvement. Okay, but for you to do this, you need to also understand data, understand agile project management, and also understand the core business analysis itself. So if you are someone that you don't mind interacting with series of stakeholders, then this place should be for you. All right. Now, it may be hard to now start explaining all this for everyone again all over. Through that different communities that we all joined, we have the option to book a one-on-one consultation. Okay. And right there, if you have specific questions like this, someone is going to be there to answer you and have that one-on-one experience with you. So if you're also having challenges with regards to selecting a particular course, oh, I used to be a nurse, oh, I used to be a salesperson, I don't know the place to transition through, book those one-on-one consultation and someone will be there to also converse and solve your problem. But like I always tell people, the discounts may not be there by the time that you are done. So I make sure that I've secured my spot and then you can book that same clarity link so that after the conversation, even if there is need to change the course that you've already selected, we are going to make that changes from the back end for you. So this is to avert that, okay, you're waiting to have a one-on-one conversation and you've gone to make payments and the price is no more 25% discounted. For you, instead of you to lose out on that, secure your spot as at today. And from Monday down till Saturday, we are going to be having that one-on-one conversation with people to answer every single one of their challenges. All right, because that's something that F9 is asking as a nurse transitioning into nursing informatics who wants to deal on EMR. Do we go for business analytics or data or agile project management? Fantastic question, F9. But for me to answer that question, I need to know further explanation about you. I need to even know your personality. Are you the kind of person that you run away from data? Are you the kind of person that you don't like talking to people? Do you like working solo? And those kind of personality questions, which it will be a lot of time if we start taking it from every single one of them. Yeah. So if now what I advise you to do is secure your spots and then make sure you book the clarity link. Then someone from our team is going to be there to handle every question that you have. Okay. Now, if you're having challenges with regards to choosing a career path, someone will also be there to guide you. Oh, you've already secured your spot. After looking at your background, you don't like coding, you don't like talking to people, you want to be on your own, we feel like this place is more stable for you. Okay, so that is the easiest way to book it. Okay, how do I book a one-on-one conversation, please? So gifts, my colleagues are going to drop it in all the communities that you joined from today. And also they may also drop it in this link by the time we are done with this meeting. Okay, what resources do one need? Like, gadgets. Okay, if now you just need a laptop, a Windows system, preferably a Windows system. Anything from 8 GB to 16 GB to 32 upwards, it can serve, and also a 512 storage memory. Okay, now 256 SSD can work, but then there is possibility that your system will not be hanging. It can work, but your system may be hanging. So we always advise at least from 500 GB memory upwards should be able to work. Now, we always also advise for people to use Windows. Now, Mac can also function, but if you're using a Mac, it should also be open that there is some certain platform that you have to now make payments for. But if you're utilizing a Windows laptop, it's entirely, all those tools that you're going to be needing to install is entirely free. But in the Mac ecosystem, some of them are being paid for. So this also is to guide you to make a better decision. Do we get a certificate once completed? Yes, iPhone. So you are going to get a certificate once you are done training with us. In fact, I'm also still going to get there. All right. So by the time that you are done training with us, there are some other things that you're going to get. Okay. And I'm going to get there shortly. But quickly, let me just finalize and then take other questions. For the first people to also secure their spots within the next 24 hours, they have the option, a second bonus of having access to Darivot, where you have over 250 guided projects to work on. Now you're going to have access to this right from your own 3 to 6 months, okay? Because these are real life projects that they have worked on for clients that you're going to have access to and get to work on it as well to boost your portfolio of things that they've been able to do in the past, okay? But like I said, the discount is just for the first 20 people to register in each of those groups. Okay, so last year we had a program with the Alberta Catalyzer. We got into the Alberta Catalyzer Velocity program. And the reason is simple. All right, we want to be able to help more people to break into the tech ecosystem and help more people than last year. Last year, we helped 356 people to land jobs. This year, we want to double that number. And that's why we also needed to get trained and have all those skills to make sure that we give everyone better. And by the time that you are done, you're also going to get a certificate from American Council of Training and Development, ACTD, to show that you are fully qualified, you have been trained, and you have a certificate from the Council of Development in USA. So all these things are what you are going to be getting by the time that you are done with this training. Okay, so everything on my slide, they are all success stories of people that have been able to make this same move before you. Like I said, make sure you fill the attendance form so that you can easily be able to get this slide and also get the recorded version of this conversation and be able to make informed decisions from every single one of them. At this point, I don't know if anyone who has a question and wants to unmute and raise their hand to ask me any question. Do I have any question from anyone? So if you need to switch from Mac OS to Windows, I have a powerful MacBook. Okay, Dennis, your powerful MacBook can 100% work. Okay, it can 100% work, but there are some classes it may not work for. Okay, for instance, if you are going for some things like cybersecurity, there are some platforms that you cannot be able to access. Even though you want to use Kali Linux and move into a different environment, sometimes the Apple ecosystem is not really acceptable to some changes. And if you're also looking to get into data analytics, you're looking to do Power BI, and you want to use Parallax. Power BI is paid for using Mac. You can install Power BI using what's it called? Parallax. And for you to install Parallax, you have to also make payments. So that's what I'm trying to explain. For MacBook, even though it's a strong PC, there are some platforms there are some tools, there are some softwares that you have to pay for, which to the Windows guys is entirely free. And we don't want you to keep making payments for all those platforms. That's why we are recommending Windows. But if you are equal to the task that you don't mind buying some of those tools, then by all means, use the MacBook. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Dennis. Okay, what if I already have the skills? Do you offer mentorship, Upwork optimization, interview prep? If not, fantastic. If you have these skills, we also have provisions to services that we can provide to you with regards to that aspect. Okay, but remember, first thing when it comes to packaging is, do you have a portfolio? Okay, and for you to build up all this portfolio, it starts from learning the course, learning the skill. Because it's all those projects that you're working on that you're going to have in the end to make up your robust portfolio. But if you have a portfolio, you have all those things existing, of course, you can also provide the services of just having mentorship or optimization, interview prep fully. Okay, we can also provide that for you. How do I book a one-on-one conversation? I'm sure my team member have also dropped the link for you to book that. My name is Guy from Nigeria. UI UX have not released them. All right, so Guy is fantastic for the beginning. You can see the courses that we offer. There are some reasons why we don't offer some courses. Okay, so you may want to go through the attendance, fill the attendance form, go through the recorded what we've already mentioned regarding some of these courses. For a course like UI UX, is it among the fast-growing jobs? Yes. Does it have a lot of opportunities? That I may not really tell you that it does, because there are some tools, there are some platforms that can be able to handle. But I do not understand your question. Do you mind asking again? Why is additional added to the actual course? That is not clear. Okay, that is not clear. I did the quiz, but I'm still confused on which to go for, and I don't like coding. There's a one-on-one free consultation link that you have to book for, and someone is going to be there to answer your question. Okay, why is additional? You may want to unmute and ask your question. You want to use the raise hand icon, and I'll ask you to unmute to ask your question, because I'm struggling to actually understand that effectively. Okay, I think I've been able to answer most questions that is 20 people in each course or 20 people out is for this discounted spot I'm saying. Okay, so remember there's a discount existing, and this discount is just for the first 20 people to secure that spot within those timelines. Okay, so if 20 people secure that spot within 750, that means this spot for 25% discount is off. If the next 20 people secure that spot with the 20% discount, it is off. If the next 20 people secure that spot with the 15% discount, it's off, which means you have to resort to making the full amount in the end. So I would advise people to secure their spots earlier, even if the dates for those expiration of that discount has not yet been exhausted. I hope that makes sense to you, to the person that asked that question, Olufemilayo. Okay, Elizabeth, I think you wanted to speak. Please go ahead. Elizabeth, are you there? Okay, I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead and ask your question, Elizabeth.
You have to unmute, please.
Yeah, I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay, thank you. My question was actually on, let's say, at the point of payments, you're paying in tranches, let's say maybe 2 or 3 tranches. Then at that point where you click, okay, you're paying the first payment, then it gives you the actual amount you're meant to pay. And as soon as you go further, it's the amount changes to a different cost. Maybe let's take you're paying in 2 tranches, and let's say you're paying in pounds, then it gives you like 285. But by the time you get to a certain point, it's now gone to 290 something. That's my question. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Now that changes most likely might be due to your currency aspect. Okay. Remember, the pricing that I'm talking about is fully based in USD. All right. But it is also geotag, which means if you're making payments from UK right now, you're going to see the pricing in pounds. If you're paying from Canada, you're going to see the pricing in card. If you're paying from different locations, you see it in your own local currency. So you may want to take and make sure the currency that you are seeing right there. Okay, and also check the instrumental option that you've selected as well. For instance, I'm going to walk you through it again. I've selected this right now. I selected on buy now. It's going to take me instantly to the place where I can now select how the programs I want to go for, which is for this. I've selected enroll now, and I've selected September. See this payment option that exists here. You have to select the one that also works for you. I've selected 150 option, and then I'm now clicked on pay now. So once I click on this pay now, it's already showing me that, okay, that 150 is for 5 instrumental plans, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I hope you're not looking at the total fee that you are paying. It is instrumental breakdown that you may be seeing there, Elizabeth. So this might be the instrumental breakdown that you are seeing. So once you've actually looked at this and then confirmed your own information is correct, I have read the terms and conditions as well. All you have to now do at that point is simply click on pay now. So when you click on pay now, it's now going to bring you to this page where you can now fill your details and make the payment. So clearly you can see at this point that the full amount I'm seeing here is I'm paying $150, which is right here. Only $150 because I selected to make in 5 different tranches. So what I have to do now is to fill my email address here and pay for the products. I don't know if that answers it. So you might be seeing the total amount and also look at the currency because of your location to make sure it's giving you your location-based currency. I'm explaining using the USD as our base currency for this conversation. I hope that answers your question, Elizabeth. All right, and after this, if you still have any substitute question, okay, I think it's answered that question. All right, thank you so much. I can't see any other hand raised. I can't see any. Please, I need the form to book for the one-on-one conversation. My network has been okay, not stable. My colleagues are going to drop it for you right there. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Like I always tell people, okay, the best time to break into tech is yesterday. The next best time is today. Okay, for people that transitioned as of 2020, 2021, they are already reaping the fruits of their own transitioning. Okay, and if you want to also be part of this tech ecosystem, you can begin your own journey right now. Most people will tell you, oh, I'm looking to start in January. I'm looking to start half year. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to start on a Monday. You don't have to start on a January. You don't have to start on July. You can start when you are ready. And today should be the time that you are ready, because tomorrow might actually be dangerous. Okay, I don't know if there's any other question. What is the best course for someone studying master in AI? Like Mark, like I said, there are so many things we have to look at to answer that question. For someone studying masters in AI, the best course for that person, looking at it superficially, is data science, full stack data science. All right, that is the best course for that person. But we'll have to also look at the other factors. Well, judging by just your question, the answer is full stack data science. Okay, I hope that answers your question. And I can't see any other question in the comments box. So thank you so much, everyone. All right, please, let's make sure that we fill the attendance form. Let's make sure that we secure our spots, because the spots are easily filled up. Okay, if you are waiting till Monday or till Tuesday or till Wednesday, you might miss out on actually that first 25% discount. And I always want people that join this session to be part of those that benefit from all these goodies. So please secure your spot. If you're still having challenges choosing a particular career path, book a one-on-one consultation, and we're also going to have that discussion. But make sure that you secure your spots earlier. So thank you so much. And on behalf of my founder, Adeza Suleiman, my co-founder, Feminine Pro, and of course, people that put this show together, Elijah and Arafat, they were conversing in the community and the comment section. I say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. And to you that listened to me for roughly 2 hours, 10 minutes, you are the champion. And you can be the greatest champion next by also booking your spots and being part of the tech ecosystem. All right, so please make sure you secure your spots. And I can't wait to see each and every one of you come September 6th or October 5th, depending on the time that you choose to start your own program. So thank you so much, and I'll see you when the time comes. Have a wonderful day, wonderful afternoon, wonderful night rest, depending on where you are joining us from. Cheers, everyone, and I still remain your guy, Chukwuemeka Ikpa. Bye, everyone.